Welcome to the Flow Tao Salon or Taozui Charlon. I'm absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today. Whether you're a seasoned industry veteran or you're just deeply curious about the future of mobility, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're embarking on a highly focused 10-minute deep dive explainer. We're going to unpack the massive technical, global, and financial strategies of the world's most talked about electric vehicle manufacturer.
But before we get into the weeds, let's lay down exactly where these insights are coming from. For today's explainer, we're drawing strictly from a premium, data-backed commercial analysis generated by the intelligence agent Xianjian AI. That's Xianjian AI. This incredible research was conducted and published on April 13, 2026, under the title 2026 Tesla Enterprise Deep Research Report. It is a seriously dense, authoritative document. But don't worry, we've done the heavy lifting and distilled all that complexity into clear, visual takeaways so you can grasp the absolute core of their playbook over the next few minutes.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda. We're going to cover the global context, the dual strategy, Gigafactories, 4680 tech, price wars, and we'll wrap it up with our core takeaways.
Section 1. Global Context, the EV Battlefield. To understand any massive company's moves, you first have to understand the board they're playing on. And right now, as we can see here, the global EV battlefield is completely fragmented. The world is absolutely not adopting EVs at the same pace or even for the same reasons. Look at China. It is a massive, scale-driven market moving at lightning speed, already hitting a staggering 30% penetration rate. Then you've got Europe, showing a much more steady, resilient growth pattern. And over in the US, that market is seeing growth primarily driven by targeted policy incentives, like the Inflation Reduction Act. It just proves we aren't looking at one homogeneous global market, we're looking at several distinct battlefronts.
So why is the market shifting so aggressively? Well, it's right here. It's not just organic consumer preference. It is rigid, top-down policy dictating the future. The source report highlights that carbon neutrality targets are the true core driving force. Whether we're looking at the European Union's mandate to ban combustion engines by 2035 or the US IRA's localized tax credits, these massive legislative moves act as rigid drivers. They force automakers to adapt or die. In this era, relentless expansion isn't just a revenue strategy, it's literal survival.
Section 2. Dual Strategy, Model Y versus Cybertruck. So how exactly do you attack those vastly different markets all at once? Well, you use two completely different product philosophies. On one side, we have the Model Y. This is your mainstream family SUV, the undisputed global volume leader. It's mature, it's highly refined, and it's designed to be a reliable cash cow across nearly all global markets. But on the other side, the Cybertruck. This isn't just a vehicle, it is a disruptive tech pioneer, laser-focused initially on North America. So while the Model Y consistently pays the bills, the Cybertruck redefines the brand's technological edge and captures mindshare, even as it battles through some incredibly complex early production constraints. It's a brilliant balancing act. Section 3. Gigafactories and tariff defenses. Having the right products is only half the battle, right? You have to build them efficiently and in the exact right locations. You can literally trace their physical footprint expanding here. They started by learning the ropes in Fremont, but the real global scaling happened with that massive jump to Shanghai, followed by Berlin to capture Europe. But look at the upcoming phase, Mexico. This isn't just broadly adding capacity. It's a highly calculated placement meant to serve North America while carefully navigating some incredibly tricky international trade dynamics. Now here is a mind-blowing number for you, 95%. That is the local procurement rate in Shanghai. That means almost the entire vehicle is built using local suppliers situated right around the factory. Why is that absolutely crucial? Because deep localization is the ultimate shield against global supply chain shocks. We all remember how bad those were recently, right? It's also the absolute key to massive cost efficiency. It's a highly lucrative template they are desperately trying to replicate everywhere else. Let's break down this table because this really shows how their physical footprint ties into their geopolitical strategy. Look at North America in that top row. With impending 2025 US tariffs pushing up to 100% on imported EVs, importing vehicles becomes a financial impossibility. You simply cannot absorb a 100% penalty and survive. Those high tariff sensitivities force the company's hand, demanding immediate nearshoring, like that Mexico plant we just talked about, to circumvent those crippling trade barriers. If you don't build locally, you're locked out, period. Section 4. 4680 Tech, the battery revolution. Let's step off the factory floor and look right under the hood, because this is arguably the biggest puzzle piece in the whole report.
So what is a 4680 battery? Well, it's a large format cylindrical cell featuring a tabless design and a dry electrode process. The goal here is simple: maximize energy density while shrinking manufacturing costs and factory footprint. But actually getting this highly complex tech out of the lab and into mass production, the infamous production crawl, is a massive structural bottleneck right now, especially for scaling the Cybertruck. You can really see the strategic split they're playing with here. On the left, you've got the LFP battery. This is your safe, reliable, low-cost workhorse meant for mass-market vehicles globally. Then on the right, the 4680. This is the high-risk, high-reward route. It promises phenomenal energy density and massive integration into the vehicle frame itself, but the technical barriers are sky-high. It's basically a multi-billion-dollar bet on future manufacturing superiority over present-day ease.
So why take on all that massive technical risk when LFP is already working? Simple. Look at this number: 69%. That is their target cost reduction per gigawatt hour for the 4680 compared to older tech. Think about what that actually does to a balance sheet. If they nail the manufacturing yield and scale this up, a 69% cost reduction is a nearly insurmountable competitive edge. It completely changes the math on how profitably a long-range EV can be sold.
Section 5. Surviving the global price war.
Changing that math is absolutely necessary right now because the financial landscape in 2026 is totally unforgiving. So here's the big question the report tackles. How does an automaker actually maintain profitability when terminal transaction prices, the amount the customer actually pays, often fall below the official MSRP due to brutal, industry-wide price cuts? How do you survive that without bleeding out? Well, the answer lies in dominating your bill of materials. Check out this breakdown. The battery alone makes up roughly 35% of the total vehicle cost. By pursuing extreme vertical integration, building their own factories, designing the chemistry, refining the manufacturing process all in-house, they control that massive 35% slice. When you control the biggest chunks of your costs internally instead of paying a premium to a third party, you can afford to slash retail prices in a price war and still walk away with a profit. It is their ultimate financial body armor, while competitors bleed cash trying to keep up.
Section 6. Core takeaways. We've navigated some incredibly dense intelligence today. Based on the 2026 Xianjian AI report, here are the 3 absolute most important findings and values you need to take away. Number 1, unmatched vertical integration and nearshoring are the necessary shields against rising global tariffs. Number 2, the 4680 battery tech isn't just an engineering flex, it's the crucial margin protector needed to survive in a price-slashing era. And number 3, aggressive expansion into emerging markets is the calculated move required to offset the saturation we're seeing in established regions.
As we wrap up this analysis, I want to leave you with this thought. If an undisputed industry leader has to fight this hard and innovate this deeply just to adapt to tariffs and price wars, how incredibly fast will the rest of the EV landscape have to shift simply to keep up? The next 12 months are going to be a masterclass in corporate agility for sure. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this fascinating report. Until next time, Pao Zu Shalong, Man Yen Singlong.